I can tell, you don't have anyone attend.
I won't be on there, I'm right here, okay?
That's good. I was wondering how we were going to, show you wallpapers to compare.
Oh.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Are we gonna see what's happening with the wallpaper?
Yeah, Stan's supposed to be here right now, so.
Okay.
I'll do that as you run through your preliminary,
We will start the meeting soon, trying to delay this so that somebody can show up. Okay, should I go ahead and, should we wait a little bit?
Here he's coming.
or we can flip the
I see
script
him.
and have Karen
Okay,
first.
I'll call to order the meeting then. Roll call. Where are all the names? I know that four of us here. And Chuck, you already know the four of us who are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know darn well who the two are that are not here.
Yeah.
Okay. We had changes to the agenda apparently, and you now should have a new one that has a two-pager. So we're gonna use that agenda rather than the one that came in your packet. Okay, slight change in it. And we are to approval of, oh, are there any other changes to the agenda I should have? Okay, I'm sure all of you read, the minutes before you fell asleep some night or other.
No, this was the skippiest
Yes.
and most brief. Yeah. And frankly, fairly accurate.
It's the person who was taking notes.
It was.
Chuck. So
Okay.
I move approval of the minutes from the last meeting where
Okay.
we did the wallpaper stuff.
Come on, Alex.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are to public comment. I don't see anybody, part of the public. Karen, you don't count. We are to, do you want me to do the brewmaster house repairs, or do you want to, should we get her first?
If you're willing to flip and go first, sir, that would be
Is that
great.
okay, gang?
So let's just say for the record and for the recording that it's Renee, Alex, Marnie, and Dave are here tonight. So when she's doing minutes,
Okay,
she will know that. Yeah, and if we could flip the two, stand and bring his thumb drive, or something, so he's coming back.
okay, Karen, we're gonna go.
I need to talk real slow?
Nope.
Oh.
However you would like. We'll see if we can get your here. That goes closer and.
See what it says? Yeah.
And it's that one?
That's the live PowerPoint, yeah. Work.
Oh, it's a beautiful picture.
Back. And
Can you change it to the presentation view rather than the?
I can. Hold on, Karen, jeez.
Bring daylight here.
There,
Oh,
okay.
When Dave McAndrew can't be here, we should always have Karen.
Do you want to run that?
I resent that remark, I think. I'm pretty sure I do. Okay, so you all are somewhat familiar with our project anyway. We got a Heritage Capital grant for, $117,000 to do, it was a 2-to-1 match, and you approved the, alterations to the house as far as appropriateness for the era goes. So it's completed. We're so happy. It seems like it took a long time, but it actually, I guess, went along fairly well. What am I doing here?
Click on the, if you just click that.
Oh, I see, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so, the major areas that we went through, and I won't go through all of these, because I'll talk about some of them in the, following slide. There was the interior rehab of the basement area, which is where our archives are stored. There was an exterior ADA lift or wheelchair lift installation. There was an ADA restroom that was installed in the detached garage, and there were some building systems upgrade. So I'm going to show you some before and after pictures. So here was part of the, well, I should ask first, Have any or all of you taken a tour of the Schmidt
have.
House?
Yes.
I've done it a
Okay.
couple of times.
Okay. I don't know if you've been in the basement, but at any rate, it used to be fairly, what was your word earlier? Horrific?
Yeah, that was my early word, yeah.
Fairly horrific.
Not for your building, I still think it's a
You know,
fantastic building.
that part of the house is from 1910, so it looks it. But the walls, exterior foundation walls had been leaking for some years, and luckily there's a floor drain there, but, water would seep through from the big wraparound front porch and from the windows, the little, you can see just a corner of the glass block windows up there. And so those have all been sealed and repainted. It smells so good in there, and it's clean, and you're actually not afraid to go in there.
Is
and
this
if
where
you ever
the,
need-
is this where the barrels were?
Yes, the kegs are in.
And you still have them? You have?
We still, oh, of course,
Yeah,
yeah, we still
okay,
have
good,
everything, yeah, we
good.
didn't throw anything out.
Good.
Yes, we have those, but we haven't brought them back into this part of the basement. And also this door over here, which was pretty ratty exterior door, has been replaced with a new door. So that part of the basement is up to snuff. And here's another view, farther to the east, in a long wall that had been seeping and whatnot, and is now sealed and repainted. And, there was a little storage closet downstairs, which was, the Schmidt family called it the wine closet. I'm not sure if they meant that literally, or if that was just kind of a sarcastic way to, refer to this little room. But it had, believe it or not, Peter G. Schmidt Jr.'s college papers still in it.
Oh,
And he was
interesting.
born in 1921. So I don't feel so bad now about still having my college papers.
Yeah.
But it was transformed. Has always been a dry room, nice and secure and dry. But, contractors rebuilt, the shelving, so now it's our art storage room. It's not very big, but it's big enough.
What kind of art?
Lots of framed photos and other framed historic documents and maps, and some literal artwork. We have some paintings from the Schmidt family that date back to, I'm thinking the 1600s. Wow.
Wow.
Paintings,
Wow.
kind of still life
Yeah.
items, yeah.
Where do you keep the posters, the
artwork?
their work, yeah?
They're in another archives room.
Okay.
Yeah, the original archives
Yeah.
room, yeah, and they're all well boxed.
Yeah.
Boxes. And in fact, they're in the left-hand photo, down in the bottom right corner, you see
Oh,
some,
sure, yes.
those gray boxes.
Big
Those are
boxes, yeah.
really oversized boxes that house all the original paintings that were originally meant for billboards.
Right.
So the room on the left was our existing archives, and that's been, the exterior walls again have been sealed, and it's been all painted, and new lights put in, and, with the bright white walls and the new lights, you could perform surgery in there if you really wanted to. The photo on the right was our former artifacts room, which was a little bit of hodgepodge of things that did not need to be in the climate control. But now they are, and now we have room to expand also. So I'm hoping that, once we get the word out, maybe some members of the public who have Olympia beer items or Schmidt family items in their personal archives might donate those, because we actually have room to accept them now. Whereas before, we were pretty cramped. Anyway, so that kind of concludes the basement rehab. And then we installed, the ADA wheelchair lift around the corner of the big porch, front porch. So the left is how the sidewalk used to look, and now there's a new ADA width sidewalk that, accesses the wheelchair lift. And all the shrubs, like the overgrown, spruces, is that what they were? Anyway, the big evergreens are out now, and been replaced with lower shrubs. So the house looks a little bit better, I think, now. There you go. So that, the left is what the tail end of the porch used to look like, and now those, shrubs have been removed, and the new wheelchair lift is on in there. And it took a while to get it certified, just because there was some supply chain issues, as far as getting parts and whatnot. But it's all finished now, and it has been certified by the state. It works really smoothly, so now people who are in wheelchairs, or even if they have just general mobility issues, like they might use a walker or whatever, they can access that and get up to the first floor. The second and third floor of the house and the basement, of course, remain inaccessible to people with mobility issues. At least we can get up to the first floor.
You're probably on the edge of reception for that.
Oh, okay, I'll just switch up a little bit. And we dithered a bit with the architects and the contractors about how to manage about a 2-inch lip from the floor of the porch up into the actual interior floor. And, the contractors actually came up with the solution, which is, you see on the right,
Yeah.
which is a rubberized floor mat.
Yeah.
But the company, which I think is called SafePath, can manufacture it to your specs. And they actually built it up to about 2 inches or so. It's heavy, so it can't be easily moved. It doesn't shift at all when weight goes on it, and it's just very smooth ramp up to
Nice.
from the.
very
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks ramped, but
And
it's such a short,
it's something
short
that
stay.
people wouldn't have any trouble walking down
Right,
either. In fact,
right.
it'd be safer for people who are walking.
Yeah, because before I always used to warn people, watch out for the little drop here,
Right.
and now they just go right out. And it's got kind of a, almost a sandy or pebbly texture, so it's non-slip. Anyway, I thought that was a great solution.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, here we go. Another problem we dithered about for a while was how to keep wheelchairs from rolling off, the front porch. And because those large evergreen shrubs, were a real barrier before, but now since the shrubs are gone, we needed something to keep wheelchairs from going off. So the architect's solution was to put in this low height curb, and it's very minimalist as far as the aesthetics for the house, but it does what it claims to do, and they painted it the same color as the trim, so it just kind of blends in. And the porch floor is, not so high off the ground that it really needs a full-scale railing. It meets ADA limits as far as not needing a full railing.
Really unobtrusive, you don't even,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure as you're looking at the house, you don't even really notice it.
Oh, no, not from a few
Yeah.
feet away, yeah. Okay, so that was the wheelchair lift. And then one of the big things was putting in an ADA restroom. So the picture on the left is our 2.5-car garage, I guess you'd call it. And then on the right, you see the new restroom, which just takes up about a third of the garage. And the architects designed the windows so that 3 windows, if they mimic the 3 windows on the top of the house.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that
Remember
too.
That was a topic of discussion.
Yeah,
Oh, was
yep.
It was, yeah, I remember.
They did a great job, looks great.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's very detailed, but there's the outside 2 panes are slightly smaller than the middle pane, which is exactly how the original windows on the house are.
So was it, we had to go with a custom window?
I think they did,
Probably.
yeah. And so from outside, it's really unobtrusive. The one thing we have left to do is put up some kind of directional sign, so if there's a party out in the yard, they can tell where the restroom is. We have a sign by the entry door to the restroom, but we need some directional signs so that we would realize where the restroom is. So that's the entry door, and then the insides, which they painted a very nice restful blue, and they put, kind of a pebble finish, in the concrete on the floor, and all the typical ADA bathroom fixtures. And the lights come on automatically, winter. And then the last thing to talk about was, some of the building systems, primarily the lighting. We obviously, as you saw, we added a lot of lighting in the basement, but we replaced the inappropriate lighting fixtures on the first floor, our public spaces, with more appropriate repro chandeliers. And they turned out, I think, really nice. And then we added some kind of low profile, minimalist, art lighting on the walls around the rooms. The artwork that we typically have out there, which are framed vintage photos, look good, although I haven't yet repositioned the spots so that they're hitting the and then if we have other art shows in the future, then we can use those.
Great, so the 5 light chandeliers are new?
Yeah,
Yeah, they look really good.
and then but I can move that, the little inset that shows us is covering up the other chandelier. So the chandeliers on the left are the style we chose for the front room, and then the parlor and the dining room have a different kind of, there you go,
Oh, yeah.
different kind of chandelier.
Oh, you're good.
Which, somewhat matches or goes nicely with the chandelier that was in the existing, entry hall.
Goes nicely with that beautiful table under it.
And I think that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I guess I should tell you, you probably know anyway, that the Heritage Grant was for $117,000, and that was a 2-to-1 match, so we spent about $350,000 on the whole project. The things we didn't do were the audio-visual upgrades, and also we did not do the fire suppression in the basement. That turned out to be wickedly expensive and would have blown the budget all heck and gone, so we did not do those things. Other than that, we accomplished everything that was in the initial grant request.
Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
good.
looks great.
Thought,
Yeah, it really looks nice.
Thanks to Swallowing Walk Architects, who managed the whole process, and Forma Construction, which they were great, all the people they had on board, and the subs that they had, like Reliable Electric and Sunset Air. The name of the plumbing sub escapes me at the moment, but anyway, everybody was really respectful of the house and its legacy, and things went smoothly, except as I mentioned, for some supply chain issues. So it was a great project. The worst part was moving all of the archives upstairs to the first floor and then moving them back.
How long did it take?
The whole project.
Yeah.
We actually moved the archives up in September, if you want to count that as the start date.
Right.
And then, construction really didn't start for a month or so after that, and then we finally moved stuff back down in May.
Oh, that was pretty good.
And they could have, I think Forma could have done it a lot faster, but they were kind of working around other projects that they had going, and they are busy folks. We were fine with them taking some time off here and there to do some other projects. But anyway, they were all great to work with. I'd recommend.
Good.
Does Charles forget to talk about the Harry Potter restroom anymore?
Prosper doesn't work.
I know that he doesn't,
Yeah,
but he
well,
keeps
yeah.
talking about it, because he talked to me about it the other day, but.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
We still mention that very positive after, sure. But then we have the big, beautiful ADA restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's very nice.
Well, anytime any of you want to come by and take a look for yourselves, rather than just see the pictures, welcome to take you on a quick tour.
Are you getting visitors this summer?
Yes.
Mhm. Good.
People are coming for house tours, and lots of people come by to look at the rose garden, which is at its peak right now.
Yeah.
Well, I will say we certainly appreciate Karen coming tonight.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yes.
last minute thing
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
did
Really
have her
fun.
come in and we do have a contract with the Olympic Tough Hunter Foundation, paid partially out of the general fund, and then, part of it's paid out of the lodging tax, which we use for historic district projects and to pay the foundation for them to work with us and help us with historical programs, from the Riverwalk to the Falls Fest that we're going to this year,
Mhm.
and then every Digital Road and Digital Road.
Yeah,
I called
yeah.
Karen and go, hey, could you look this up and see if you can find
Yeah.
anything on this? So they're a ton of help to us because we don't really have any dedicated.
And I've been working the last few months with, the tree board, which has been fun, on
Oh,
researching history for their
yeah.
legacy tree project, yeah. It's been real fun. And I guess we're close to having our magnolia tree in the front yard of the Schmidt House, being Heritage.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Are you doing events there again now?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I saw your sign that said weddings, you're doing weddings again, opening it up.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, thanks.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome to stay or.
You're welcome to
Yeah.
stay and expected to stay.
No, no obligation.
I kept it. Well, I wouldn't mind some wallpaper.
Yeah.
Talk about, yeah.
Well, just so you know, I love Dave McCandry. We've been friends for many years, and I love him.
I think I've seen these boards before. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, Dan, I told Chuck, I left that meeting, I think the decorator professionals might have a few changes they want to suggest.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute.
You want to scoot over to the middle chair so the camera sees you,
Oh, sure.
be the highlight of the show.
Woo-hoo.
So maybe just a quick update on what's happening at the house, the status.
Sure. Actually, before we even talk about the Brewmaster's house, I want to bring up the Crosby house.
Oh,
2 weeks ago, we had some vandalism there.
oh,
Videotaped what do we assume is a homeless person go up to the back window by the back main window to the dining room or living room by the kitchen and pretend to throw a rock, and then comes back and throws a rock through the big window. It set off the alarm. We had to send the police out. Anyway, he's gone, and we,
he didn't go into the house.
no, he did not go in the house. When I'm watching him on the video, he was like it was almost a dare. It was, anyway.
He was bored, he didn't have anything else to do.
Such a waste of energy and time and money.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got the window boarded up, and again, Heritage Restoration, who's doing our work at Brewmaster's house, came out and looked at that window, because it is a, an old window. And, they were able to save the window, including replace some of the wood, around the wooden jam.
Wow.
They were able to match, and so what we're waiting for now is them to get a match of the window itself, so it mimics the old style, rough, bubbly, almost,
Right,
window.
right,
So that's what we're doing.
right.
And as soon as they get that, we'll have it repaired and back up and running.
Wow.
I hired our custodial crew to come out and vacuum and clean all the glass out of the place.
Good.
And they noticed that the place was dusty, so I'm gonna put them in touch with Ann and see if Ann wants to have her come and clean the house once, before they open up. Anyway, it's a good thing. Not that the window got broke, but
Yeah.
the work that's happening. I didn't have to go buy a new window, and we repaired it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
So,
great.
Great.
Yeah, so there's an
Great.
update on that. We don't talk about the house very much. Yes,
Is there one in particular?
1, 2, and 3 in order.
Mm,
With those, 1 and 2 are just letters from, Do It All Clean Wallpaper, and the third is just 4 more windows,
so
Not the
we're just
replacement.
looking at wallpaper?
not those, just the ones that start with the 1, 2, and the 3, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right at the top.
So with the Brewmaster's house, we have, finished up the service contract, which is them, historic, or Heritage Restoration coming in and ascertaining what it's gonna take to physically do the Public Works contract to repair this house. We had some things had to be repaired initially, just so, it would, we could be up and running. And they removed all of the interior contents, either threw it away and logged down what it was, or cleaned it and stored it for us, so that we can get that smoke smell off of everything as soon as possible. That was why we were such an emergency, because that smoke is every day, it's harder to get it out of everything. And so I was really, really happy those folks came through, and they did. So now what they're waiting for now is our decision tonight, and, I've got a couple of questions and a couple things to ask of you, and hopefully we can get this done, with regards to wallpaper choices, so we can go out to bid, not bid so much as get the estimate back from them on what's gonna take the wallpaper and or maybe plaster some things. In which case, that will affect the contract amount that I'm putting together for Heritage Restoration. So,
Could you clarify one more time, how you rectify the smoke situation? Is it sealed in the walls? How's that taken care of?
well, first they clean what they can, wipe it
Yeah.
down, but if they can't get everything, which you can't, they'll seal it with what's called, I used to use a product called Kills. It's an organic compound made from insects, believe it or not. that seals in smoke and rafters wood against anything. It's an amazing product. It's about the consistency of milk, and it looks just like milk, but it's not. And you spray it on, and it just does wonders. Well, they did something, you use Kills or something of the like, and seal anything that had smoke, smell, or stain on it. So now we can move forward. So you walk in, there's a little bit of a smoke smell, but nothing, you know, like it was right after the fire. I mean, you probably smelled it when we went in there for the last meeting.
Yes.
There was, you know,
But it wasn't as bad as the first time we went in there.
it was pungent, but, and it's, you know, we've still got open wounds. There's some open cavities in the back that we haven't repaired yet. That, why seal it when it's gonna get torn apart and taken out? So, you know, I'm trying to move forward as fast as I can. I've got a timeline on myself because a week from Tuesday, I'm gonna be gone for at least 2 weeks, and I won't be able to do any work on this.
Has the insect milk product been applied throughout yet?
Yeah, they're done with
That's
that
been
first
done,
survey,
right?
yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we're where we are right now, even though it smells a little bit, that's because they haven't done the public works, the contract work to repair the building, which involves, reframing areas, sealing in, drywall, you know, all the wallpaper, the painting, the plaster, all that stuff together will seal in the smoke stone.
amazing,
What they do.
amazing.
I've learned a lot doing this job. I've done a few T&Is in my general contracting business in the past, but I've never ran into, you know, historical type buildings and had to adhere to certain standards, and this has been pretty eye-opening and pretty cool, actually. It's slow.
Never stop learning.
Yeah, once you do, you might as well be.
Perfect.
So, couple things. After our last meeting, you guys made some, and thank you again for how efficient you guys were whipping through that house and making decisions and working together. I was impressed. I thought we'd be there twice as long with anybody, and that was awesome. Some of the things we did though, however, as it turns out, I might have steered you in the wrong direction of, directions given me by the wallpaper place. So I brought with me a couple of letters from the wallpaper owner and the gal, Leanna, who I've been working with, who's very intelligent as well. They did some more homework on all this, so they were able to dig up some more facts about what a 1900s, 1915 house would have in it, and what they would do for ceilings or areas that is, you know, the cracks in it and the car decking and whatnot. So, as it turns out, only the rich would wallpaper the ceiling with the same stuff as the wallpaper of the walls. That wasn't what I was told initially, because we didn't have a lot of time to talk about it. So it's kind of explained in one of the first letter, or the second letter that Chuck's gonna pull here in a second. The other is, we're talking, the ceiling areas weren't all wallpapered. A lot of them were either used a backing paper, and you still saw the grids, you know, the rafter lines and the car decking in the ceiling, or they used plaster. And it wasn't a fancy drywall like we have now, where you can really work it and have it come up, do a couple of coats with some sponge or sand and be done with it. It was rough. And so now they actually sell wallpaper that mimics that old style.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's a decision, but I've got a couple of requests, that I'd like to throw at you and talk about what your.
We had a feeling that wild ceiling in the bedroom that matched the wallpaper was a little bit stretching
But you know what,
the,
that's okay. We can always pull it back,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but that's,
So-
that's the way we said,
So
you know, if they wanna make some changes that are more compatible historically, that's
And-
just fine with us.
And what I'm gonna ask, if I can, after I give some more presentation here, and hopefully I can impress you enough, where you feel comfortable allowing me to maybe, if there is something that has to happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks, before we have another commission meeting, maybe you allow me to have the availability to talk with Chuck and make those decisions without going to you. It won't be like, we're gonna change the framing. It's just, there's a few little things that, whether we can't get this wallpaper now, there's not enough, or whatever, the colors might be just a touch off, I'm gonna try to lean on some of these folks that do this for a living.
I don't think we'll chop off his head, do you guys?
I don't think so.
Well,
Well,
Okay.
wait, I'm not done yet.
Oh.
So what I'll do now is I'll show you the letter from the owner of the outfit in Tacoma called, Do It All Clean Wallpaper. And this is from the owner, just really quick, if you guys wanna read that. Everybody see that okay, or should I make it larger?
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
it.
So, if I read what he wrote correctly, he's presenting that you should probably just plaster a lot of those ceilings, paint them white, rental white, whatever you think.
Certainly would be better for a long-term maintenance, easier.
I think so, and I think it'll be less expensive, and I think it'll actually look more better, for lack of a better descriptive term. I think it'll match, instead of us trying to make another non-clashing color choice, there'll be a couple of rooms that'll have ceilings that'll be done, but then I think the majority of them will be plaster if we could. I think it'll
Is it a dull white or a bright white?
be dull white, I would say.
And
I'm
which-
assuming it'd be a dull white, a flat white.
Which rooms are you still wanting to keep the,
Well, that's what we want to talk about.
Okay.
First off, I've got some wallpaper samples of what we actually chose over here and the rooms that they go to. And I also have with me some new ceiling, these are some of the ceiling choices they have that mimic the plaster. So you guys can pass those around. Just by looking at them and feeling them, go, man, that's expensive stuff.
Yes.
Not that it matters,
sounds like
but
vinyl?
we gotta be realistic. What was that building, what was that house like in 1905 or 1910? Was it fancy? I don't think it was. I think it was, they got them in.
Yeah.
You know, it had plumbing and electrical, but other than that, so there's a few things, we're gonna take some liberties a little bit. I wouldn't wanna go too far, is what I'm saying. I don't want it to be, that first impression walking in a bedroom idea we had upstairs initially. So, but still, I like what we did. There's some things we did really good, I feel.
Okay, this is ceilings, and then we're gonna go to wallpaper.
Well, I mean, talking now is, in the office, we'll start with room one.
Hold on, I think maybe we should agree on record that we are gonna be in favor of whichever one of them. I'm assuming it's gonna be plaster. I think the Historic Commission should make that on record, that we approve of him doing that. So I want to entertain a motion dealing with the ceiling. And then I'll clarify, ceilings in any and all rooms, or what are we talking about here? Maybe,
Minor wallpaper choices in color or design, honestly, because there's gonna be some changes. Before you make your
Yeah.
declaration, the dining room, for instance, that wallpaper is not being in production anymore, and they don't have enough in stock to do our building for the dining room ceiling or walls. So that entire choice of our dining, that we have for the dining room is out.
We have to
And-
revisit that.
And they sent me new, similar like wallpapers that she thinks we'd enjoy.
Okay.
So, whether we just do the walls, because it's just a half wall up, the ceiling, she suggested, look nice if we had a wallpaper on the ceiling. What kind it is, or, I don't know. That's what I'd like you folks to make a decision on.
okay, I guess what I wanna do is clarify which rooms we might wanna put plaster, which
Downstairs.
rooms we don't wanna do that.
Downstairs would be the office and the bathroom, and the back deck area that caught fire. The kitchen, the entry, and the dining room would have something on the ceiling that, other than plaster, it would be wallpaper, because we made some choices that
Yeah,
were
we
kind
made
of-
some choices about that, I remember.
Upstairs, almost every room would be plaster except for a room that we might want to put wallpaper on it, and what that is, I don't know yet. I think we should discuss it, because I think we should make a change to that one turret room and not be the parrot thing
Right.
everywhere. Maybe we do the room next to it, because the ceiling that you chose was really cool. So, and everything else could just be plaster. I think that would be a good idea.
Okay.
Honestly, in my opinion. Simpler, cleaner, quicker.
Okay, Stan, clarify, boil it back down to what rooms would you suggest that we put plaster in?
Okay.
And clarify that so
Sure.
that our motion will, jive with that.
It would be the downstairs of the first floor, office and bathroom.
You're gonna write this down for me? Okay, thank you.
From me, if you
Yes,
folks
fine.
make another decision, that's fine. But the dining room, entry, and kitchen would have something that we chose already to be on the ceiling. We still have to revisit the dining room. Upstairs, everything will be plaster except one bedroom,
Okay,
and which one that is, we'll decide. You
okay,
folks will decide and decide what you want on it, and maybe,
And that's the room that we had the, kind of the wild birds.
it could be that or the one next to it, facing the street. I feel.
All right.
I'm trying to give you parameters, but not tie you down, you guys.
So,
it's a good choice.
there'll be plaster on the ceiling on the first floor, in the office and the bathroom.
That's it.
And then upstairs, there'll be plaster everywhere but one of the bedrooms.
After talking to these folks, it made sense, and we had a lot more in-depth conversation. So that's the letter from, the owner, so we get out of that,
Just go top right, top one.
right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and where is
And then
the,
go back, click OK,
where are you at? Oh, okay, thank you.
go back to share screen, that green in the bottom of the middle.
Got it, okay. And then I believe this is the letter from Leanne. Okay, so this is the employee I've been working with who had initially informed me about, you want to wallpaper the ceilings and stuff, because that's what they did back then. When you're ready, I'll go down some more.
Okay,
So pretty much self-explanatory.
okay.
And she's worded it fairly well, I guess.
Yes,
So,
I would like to entertain my original thought, which is to
Get it
get
in a
this
motion?
part done before we move to something else. So, Marnie, if you could you make the motion for me?
Well, I will move that we support the decision to have plaster on the ceiling on the first floor in the office and the bathroom. And in the upstairs, plaster on the ceiling everywhere, but in one of the two bedrooms, and we'll make a choice about which one might get wallpaper.
Any discussion?
Second.
Can you have a second?
Well,
Alex?
and he also requested some leeway in decision-making
I think
along the
that's-
way
yeah.
too.
I'm gonna do that in another motion.
Okay,
Alex,
understood.
do remind me though.
Okay,
I was trying to hold that till later when we get done with the wallpaper and what have you, and then make that, motion. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
yeah.
Do you want us to make a choice here, or leave it up to the architecture staff to?
hang off on that one if you
Okay.
don't mind.
We're right now doing plastering
Okay.
rather than
I
fake
thought that's
stuff.
what that was.
This is
fake.
wallpaper.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
like wallpaper.
okay. Oh, I thought that was the
It's
bathroom.
nice stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, been moved, seconded to plaster certain rooms as mentioned by Marnie. Any discussion, further discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous then on that one. Dan, I
Okay,
think
so
we
next-
took care of step one. I think now we can go to,
Let's visit our choices we
Okay.
have and the choices we need to make, and let's make those, and then I'll ask you for some leeway. At that point in time, you'll see what I
Okay.
want, what I'm looking at or looking
Okay.
for.
do these need to be on camera?
I don't think so, you've already,
Okay,
these have been chosen. So, again, here's the rooms. Start, down here. This is the kitchen wallpaper, this is the half wall, and that was the ceiling. I mimicked a silver type.
Kind of the tin, yeah.
What I'm looking for is permission they've got 22 flavors of this ceiling tile, or ceiling wallpaper that have, it's all a similar stem, but just a little bit different color choices.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna have you folks go over 20 choices of colors. I'm asking for you, let me and Leanna make those decisions as compared to what's in the building at the time, or what she thinks when she looks at it compared to the other wallpaper.
Okay,
They're professionals. I'm a professional, but not with wallpaper per se. I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be close now.
But I just wanna be able to make that choice.
Which
I
room
think-
is this? Which room is
That's
The
the kitchen,
kitchen.
that's the
Kitchen.
kitchen. Yeah.
so staff will make a decision of the stamped ceiling wallpaper in the kitchen.
Well, only if what is, you've already chosen is
If
off
it's
by a little
available,
bit. I'm not looking
Well,
to make it purple and green.
Yeah,
I just wanna make it.
we'll have flexibility.
We're gonna make a motion maybe on individual rooms, so if you could clarify that one.
And this
That
is
makes
just
sense.
to expedite the process. When I get the contract through, I've got a week and a half before I'm gonna be out for a while. and I wanna make sure this is on, en route. and
Thank you for
working.
being the secretary.
Sure.
Here, that's upstairs, 41 and 42.
I think it's best if we do each room maybe a separate motion.
You guys did a nice job.
Well, thank you.
We had fun.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right,
We arm wrestled a few times, and
Yeah.
Alex and Marnie always won.
I was gonna say.
this is what we chose for the first floor office, back behind the dining room. And this is what we chose for the ceiling. We're not gonna use this anymore.
Okay.
It's gonna be plastered.
Yeah.
Okay,
This was number 43. The main entrance, that's our main wallpaper in the entry.
mhm.
That's our first impression, that's our bailiwick, there, right there, that Hummer is there. This, however, is out, wait a minute, no, because we're not plastering that room. This was our choice for downstairs.
For the ceiling or
Ceiling,
uh-huh,
yes. And I liked it in sort of the,
okay.
however, maybe something pops up or something shows itself that isn't right. I'm just asking for permission, you guys to trust me in doing the right thing.
Ceiling wallpaper in the entrance or the living room? What,
Entrance, including living room.
okay,
Really not that big an area. And I kind of like that look, and it matches,
Yeah.
and that we might be a little bit off on it might clash a touch, and that's where I'm asking for somewhat of a leeway, or I can just do it and I'll tell you, you know, I don't want to do that. I want you guys to be eyes wide open, and I want to be forthwith and transparent. Okay.
Well, Chuck wants to have a meeting every night for the next 3 weeks, so,
Chuck needs to get a light.
Yeah. I'm not on camera, right? So, there's the downstairs minus the storage room in the back, which is just gonna be drywall and plaster ceiling. So that's kitchen, so the dining room, that's what we're gonna talk about. The dining room needs to be chosen, new wallpaper. And I was sent, if you look on the screen here, I will show you 4 new choices that they thought would look nice in the dining room.
thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
if it's not high tech, I can handle it, okay? So sit down.
So I'll back that up. I have 4 choices, and this is the first 2. And remember, this is for the dining room. Downstairs, that's a half wall up, so you're only doing the top 4 to 5 feet, okay? And then we're also looking at perhaps, picking something to the ceiling, or we can still do a plaster there too if you'd like. But I think the dining room is that one room we decided would be nice to have that ceiling. So maybe we keep the same ceiling choice we had for the entry all the way to the dining room. And then pick a paper that will not clash with the dining room, or with the living room ceiling, or vice versa. So there's those 2 colors, or 2 choices. I kinda like the bottom one, just because
Yeah,
it's
it's
colorful and
nice.
it's
I
a
like
little
it.
less busy.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so let me
Very-
minimize
very
that, and then go to, I'll just go down to here. There's one, nope, yeah, that's it. I don't know what you think of that. Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Not as nice as number 2.
what she's trying to do is, that they were trying to get me period type wallpaper.
I get that.
They didn't, yeah, so it wasn't that, oh, hey, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's, here's period type
It fits in
wallpaper.
with the period.
Yes, and then here's the other one. So that's a little less busy, it looks more like marble or something Italian-like, I can't really tell what it is.
I really like the first 2 better.
Okay, so why don't I get rid of these? And,
Somebody else might like them.
Well, I like the number 2. I mean,
Yeah, I do
the
too.
flowery, it's soft flowery, it's subtle flowery,
Very
but
pretty.
it looks very early 1900s to me. That would be in a nice house.
Yeah.
so that would be, so this one on the bottom here?
I really like
That's,
that.
yeah, I like it too. It's
Okay,
subtle,
so you'd like
it's
that,
soft.
you guys wanna make a motion on that then, or is that something, after we make all the choices, you'll do that?
I'm writing these down,
So that's,
Option
just put number
two.
2. 'cause
Yeah,
we
option
know
Room by room.
number
I think we should do
2.
it room by room.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Dining.
about
That
the
way-
room downstairs.
That's the way it's
Room.
clarified when we
Yeah,
get done, what it was. Marnie, you might ask for what number this is, or how to?
So we can get all this in the minutes, if you can just
Yes,
call out what the name is, what the number is, and
Yeah.
we'll write that down in the minutes.
It's number 2. Honestly, I had it emailed to me.
And
I
the
tried to
name
print it
is
and
the
I couldn't.
best one.
We have it. So that's why I did this.
She didn't give you a product name, spec, number, nothing?
No, I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can get them, but she wanted to make sure I had them before, instead of not. Or, this is, I feel like Monty Hall, and you can just go to that,
Door
the
number
box
2.
on,
Yeah.
over that Jay's pointing at. We can revisit any of the wallpaper samples that we had initially, which I brought with me. There's something that you guys remember you liked, or I honestly feel that's
I
a
love
nice,
this.
respectful,
Yeah,
clean.
I like it
I
too.
really like it.
Yeah. And will that go with our ceiling?
And so, what did you have for the ceiling?
Well, this
Top-
one here with the
top one
pink,
on the
the
left.
top,
This one, yeah.
it's kind of a,
You know, I can't even see it. It looks just like a white piece of,
it's like a linen almost. And what we can do is,
oh,
You
yeah,
can get-
that goes.
and this in the dining room, Leanna can make sure all 3 don't clash, that they all look good together. And we use that one for the ceiling on the dining room and the living room entry. This would be on the entry, that would be in the dining room, half wall.
This is number 19. I like that. I think that's what we've selected to
So
begin with.
here's why I wanted to hold back on getting any permission to get thought. So I'm looking for the approval that I can go talk to Leanna and we make the best knowledgeable decision on what would look the best between the 3, that color, the ceiling color, which we can get
Mhm.
different hints, and maybe this can get, there's like 15 of these colors too.
Mhm.
So-
And is that a ceiling or a wallpaper?
This is wallpaper, this is the entryway, this is our base.
Oh, okay, that's right, yeah, yeah. So-
That number is what?
Number 43. Well, it's already written down, we've saved this,
Okay.
and we've saved the ceiling color, that isn't gone. What's gone is the dining room wallpapers and ceiling, because they don't have.
Oh, okay, all righty.
So and that's all, and then we got rid of some stuff in order to expedite the plastering process. So now we move upstairs if everybody's okay with this?
Mhm.
How you doing with the notes?
I am, all right, so I'm gonna repeat the decisions we made so far,
I appreciate
and
that.
then we'll summarize and then move forward to the next room.
Good job.
Staff will have flexibility on the stamped ceiling wallpaper. And that was in no, not the kitchen, the stamped ceiling wallpaper.
All I'm looking
That
for-
right there.
Yeah, this is the kitchen.
Oh, the
I'm looking
kitchen.
Yeah,
for
this is the
color.
kitchen.
Oh, in the kitchen it says.
Yeah, that's the kitchen.
And then staff will have flexibility on the
Hue.
ceiling wallpaper in the entrance and living room
Oh, yeah, right.
to be compatible with the gray wallpaper.
I'm just, yeah. we were
And
approval
then
on
the
that.
number 2 wallpaper is selected for the dining room. And number 19 is selected for the dining room ceiling. So those are the 3 decisions that we've made.
So I can come in here and say, hey,
Mhm.
this or this, and I don't wanna do that. I think you folks have enough ingenuity and enough creativity to help out this process, so. I'm just looking for some leeway on color choices so they don't clash.
Okay,
So when we- maybe we
absolutely.
put something up, we go, oh, that doesn't look right at all, that's not at all what I think that in mind, or this is not going right. I need to be able to do that.
So now we're gonna go upstairs.
Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. We've chosen the wall for the entry, and now the upstairs, everything is plaster except for one of the bedrooms.
Right.
The ceilings.
Yes, I said,
Yes.
I said wall and then ceiling, thank you very much. So, the upstairs, that was the turret room, this was the room to the north of it. Okay? This was the room that we picked this for the wall and ceiling, which I think is a mistake now. I honestly think this is a big mistake. I don't mind the wallpaper, but the ceiling, no. I think it should be plaster. This, however, I think doesn't look bad at all. But it might clash a touch, and I have an opportunity to have the same textured wall, ceiling paper, and maybe get something different, more flavorful color that matches the wallpaper.
All right, so I'm a little confused. You said all ceilings in the upstairs are going to be plaster, with the exception
One
of
bedroom.
one bedroom.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
And my-
And is it the bedroom that has that, not flower pattern, but, the beige?
My recommendation is this is the one we do, and we keep that ceiling, and this bird paper be left on the wall, but we will go plaster on the ceiling. That's my recommendation. You folks can discuss it and change your mind, whatever you like.
Bedroom.
I really like that bird paper.
Oh, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it is.
But we had it on the ceiling as well, and that probably was a little bit too much, yeah.
Well, we were following directions about, oh, hey, one of the coolest rooms has the wall.
Yeah, and that's what they did during those times, but
So,
we were misled.
is that, are we getting a little more logical here on this, I think?
Yeah,
One
so bedroom
as we go,
two
and not
with
the God's gift to wall coverings.
You're doing great.
Wallpaper with plaster
I don't know how much
ceiling.
it pains.
All right, so
Those boots all my life.
upstairs, all the ceilings in the upstairs are going to be plaster with the exception of one bedroom.
Be the north one.
In this case, it would be bedroom number, where's the numbers at?
This bedroom on the north side, not the two, I think.
Okay,
Oh, here.
the north,
Bedroom number 9. It would
9,
be the northwest bedroom,
okay.
would be the one we put keep the ceiling choice you already made and wallpaper there. The only change we're making is not sealing the room number 8, the southwest third room.
Yes, so the bedroom 2, or you called it what, 9?
Yes,
Room 9,
northwest.
would have the bird wallpaper with the,
Why don't you clarify
There you
when
go.
you say northwest room and southwest?
Or go by those numbers if you want.
so the bird one is gonna be southwest,
This is southwest, this is northwest.
Correct.
northwest,
Here.
and then southwest, okay. All right, so bedroom, the southwest bedroom with the bird wallpaper would have plaster ceiling, and we'd leave it up to the architects or the staff to pick a compatible
All I'm
plaster
looking for is
ceiling.
that little tweak. I want to be able to make that. That's all I want. I don't
Okay.
want to be able to, change the architecture. I just
If you
need
come
to
in
make
with
it-
the chartreuse ceiling, we're not gonna be happy
I'm
with you.
surprised you know what chartreuse is. Periwinkle, perhaps.
He knows the word, he
Um,
knows.
Other than that, gosh,
We had a downstairs bathroom, wallpaper, that was okay,
Yeah, but we covered the ceiling.
okay,
Plastering that. And you might as well include, because of the office, that closet in the office is included with the office, I would assume. Okay, so you made the big choices. The entry up, the upstairs landing area is all plaster ceiling. The only room up there that has wallpaper on it is room number 9.
Northwest corner.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
northwest.
Everything else is plaster. That makes it so simple. And now you have the wallpaper choices for the.
We haven't made a motion yet, so don't get.
Well, I'm hoping, I'm building confidence in all you folks. Me. But that would be the big change is already, if you just approve it, would be made.
all right,
Simplifies things and I can move forward on this.
are you ready for a motion?
I would like to do, which is better, a motion for each of the segments that you have?
Well, we could
Or
do
do-
upstairs and downstairs, or downstairs and upstairs,
Okay.
if you wanna do that. in
Whichever
two
way
separate-
Marnie's gonna put the motion together, because she's the one that's got the fantastic notes in front of her. And those notes are better than
It may not be real
what our
articulate.
staff person could have done, for sure. So Marnie, I don't know which would be better. You're gonna have to decide as you make the motion. If it's not clear, then we'll clarify it with amendments or whatever.
I'd like to make two motions that
Okay.
summarize our decisions as a, group, on the changes to the decoration of the, brewmaster's house. The first recommendation has to do with the first floor, in that staff would have flexibility on the stamped wall, ceiling wallpaper in the kitchen. Staff would have flexibility as well on the ceiling wallpaper in the entrance and dining room to be compatible with the selected gray wallpaper. And the number 2 dining room wallpaper that was selected tonight, and we also selected number 19 for the dining room ceiling. So that summarizes the decisions we made on the first floor.
Commissioner speak freely. If I was to suggest something, I'd say, make 2 motions, one for the changes you made for the actual physical property, the wallpapers. And 2, make us available to make small decision choices on colors and whatnot as needed throughout the building, you know, in a professional,
That makes
courteous, proper way.
Yeah, and, well, we can do that at the end, right? We can
So
summarize.
You're
That'd be
talking
a
about
two.
three motions, yeah, I think you're proposing three motions. One for the first floor, one for the second floor, and then one giving Stan the
Right.
authority to make sure things look good.
I would recommend, that's fine.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's your decision, I would, yeah.
That works for me.
It works for me.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so,
So you need a second for your first motion, I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Motion clear to everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
motion number 2 has to do with the upstairs, decor. First of all ceilings in the upstairs will be plaster, with the exception of one bedroom, the northwest bedroom, number 9. And the bedroom that is a southwest bedroom, number 8, with the bird wallpaper, will have plaster ceiling, and that would be at staff's discretion, whatever is compatible. So I think those are the decisions that we made.
okay, I would change the staff person and make that as a separate motion for your third one.
Okay.
I'm with Dave on that.
Okay,
Does that make sense? I would,
all right, so rather
So I-
than taking it off
I
at
would
staff's
get rid of the
discretion.
staff compatibility and what have you out of the first motion and the second motion.
Okay,
And you're gonna lump them all together in the
Okay.
third
In the
motion.
third motion, yeah.
okay.
Exactly right.
All right,
Okay,
so we want to deal with the second, taking the staff's discretion phrase out of the second motion.
correct. Are you
You
okay with
wanna-
that, Marnie?
Mhm.
All right. So the motion has been made without the staff involvement. Any
Second.
discussion?
I was curious, how this room was selected to keep the ceiling and not just,
Because I really thought it looked better than the bird one. I couldn't find the ceiling
Mhm.
paper that would look good with the birds. It was so busy. I thought
Yeah.
it would be better to have birds and plaster. And then the other room, I thought you guys did a great job picking the wall and the ceiling.
okay.
Looked nice. It's not too big of a room, and it's really cool wallpaper for the ceiling too. I think that was a keeper. So everything else is plaster. So that's how you can say it. Everything's plaster, but room number 9, northwest, and that's gonna stay like it was, like you decided, everything.
Well, Stan was thinking about putting a cot in the southwest room.
Yeah.
And having birds around the wall and on the ceilings really
Little too much,
disturbed him.
Little too much.
It looks like a bird cage.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyway, we do have a motion. I don't think we have a second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
And
And the
then
third motion,
the third
Marty?
motion would be that, the commissioners would propose that staff have some flexibility and decision-making authority, to tweak, the final decisions in design regarding compatibility, colors and materials that go together.
Second. That was your
In-
motion?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, wow.
Very good.
We want this job done by tomorrow?
An hour, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
I like seeing you guys, especially, the fence women, but the guys getting in touch with their inner feelings and the
Yeah.
interior design field, yeah.
The wallpaper.
Well, I was just amazed that we took about an hour and we made a lot of selections. And I think we did maybe rush it a little bit, you know, we probably could have taken our time, if we'd had more time. But, we had a lot of good discussion, a lot of give and take, and, made some good
I
decisions.
really like what you chose.
Well, I think you guys debated fairly and effectively, and you respected each other's decisions, and you.
Yeah, we
made it
didn't beat
easy
each other
with
up.
room. I thought it was great. I honestly thought you guys did.
This is the way it's supposed to work, in case anybody's paying attention. This is the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Marnie, I disagree with that.
Well, you can disagree.
And Alex, what do you know?
If I could make, not a motion, but if I could just let you folks know that if we do make a decision that might be contrary, or that we do make a decision on something that we didn't know about initially, I'll make sure you all get emails that, hey,
We wanna choose the color of the chartreuse.
Yeah. So,
you can choose all chartreuse colors.
Sam, when might the final product be ready? When will the wallpapering be done? Just in the general sense, 3 months, 6 months?
For months now, my over-under was Halloween, to be done with this
Okay,
contract.
all right.
I think that's,
What did he say?
Halloween.
Oh, Halloween.
I think that is, reaching a bit now, because of how lengthily this has gone,
Yeah.
and how much WCIA has kind of, affected us in somewhat as well too, with their approval of the service contracts and stuff.
I don't know if the ghosts can handle not having wallpaper in
Right.
that house on Halloween.
Well, there's something's gonna happen there, I don't know what.
So Thanksgiving?
You know what, I'd love to say yes.
Okay. you don't know.
Honestly, I would,
You
I
don't
don't,
know, yeah.
these folks are itching to get going too. And wallpaper, as you saw, was 2 to 2.5 weeks out.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be the biggest contractor for this job. Electrical won't take very long, the framing won't take long, nothing else will take very long except for the wallpapering.
Interesting, yeah.
That's the entire house.
Well, we'll definitely have to have a meeting of the commission at the brewmaster's house after all the decoration is
Yeah.
done.
More than a meeting.
That'd be
Right.
fun,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
There you go.
Soiree.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, I like that word. I'm gonna use that word 3 times today.
Yeah.
Any other business that's not on the agenda that needs to be talked about or anything? Are we, then if not, we need an motion for adjournment.
I move.
Second?
Then moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Everybody who says no has to stay here and clean the bathrooms and what have you. Stan, once again,
Thank you so much,
thank you very
Stan.
much.
Yeah.
Good, a lot of hard
Really-
work.
Really good.
I'm not gonna end it until,
You have to stop recording.
yeah, hang on, I was gonna end it until I got all the compliments in. Here, Chuck, you go there. I hit it once. It says it over. Thank you.
You know, when somebody started to say, we're gonna go through whatever number of rooms there are, 20, 15, 10, whatever it was, and we're gonna be picking